Okay, good morning. We are ready for our reading lesson for the day. It is Wednesday, so in your Wednesday folder, you need to make sure that you get out your paper that says Henry and Mudge on it. Henry and Mudge, and it's Henry's journal. So we're going to be working on Henry's journal today. So make sure you get this out. And what we're going to do is I am going to read a couple of pages of the story, and then we're going to write down together what we think we could put in Henry's journal. And we have, we have 3 journals for Henry today. So there'll be 3 writings that we will put in there from the story. So remember, after I read the story and we talk about what we can put in the journal, you can put the pause button on so that you can do your writing, and then you can go back and listen to the next part, and we'll talk about it for a minute and do your pause, and then we'll do the same thing with the last journal that's on there. So let's get started with Henry and Mudge and Henry's journal. Henry had no brothers and no sisters. "I want a brother," he told his parents. "Sorry," they said. Henry had no friends on his street. "I want to live on a different street," he told his parents. "Sorry," they said. Henry had no pets at home. "I want to have a dog," he told his parents. "Sorry," they almost said. So let's look at our journal. Let's look at page 1, or actually it's page 8 of the journal. It's the first page. Henry's journal. It says, "Hi, I'm Henry. I started a journal about getting a dog. Help me finish my entry." That means help me write something. "Use examples from the text and illustrations to help show how I feel." So we want to talk about how Henry feels. So when we read this story the other day, we talked about Henry getting the dog and how that he was happy after he got his dog. But how did Henry feel at the beginning of the story? So that's what our first journal is about. How did Henry feel at the beginning of the story? So what I need you to do, it says, first I felt blank. So Henry was pretty sad because he didn't have any brothers and sisters. He didn't have any kids on his street, and he wanted a pet. So he was pretty sad. So I'm going to write sad in that first spot, and you can do that too. So go on and hit the pause button and write the word sad. Okay, now we've got our sentence started. It says, "First I felt sad because." Now we need to write down a reason why he felt sad. Well, in the story it says he didn't have any brothers and sisters, so that made him sad. He didn't have any kids on his street to play with, and that made him sad. And he wanted a pet. That made him sad. So we have 3 choices. You just have to write down one of those choices that finish the sentence. So I'm going to write, first I felt sad because remember, you're Henry. I do not have any brothers or sisters. Period. And you just spell the best way that you can. Just spell the best way that you can. But, so my whole sentence says, first I felt sad because I do not have any brothers or sisters. So go on and pause and write down why he felt sad. Why did Henry feel sad? Okay, let's listen to the next page. let's listen to the next page. And we are on the second page, the back page of your paper, okay? So that's where I'm going to read at now. It tells me to read page 19. So I'm going to look at page 19, and I'm going to read page 19. It says, "Then they looked at each other. 'Okay,' they said. 'I want to hug you,' Henry told his parents, and he did." So that's what it says on that page. Well, if we look at Henry's journal, it says, "I could get a dog." Yeah, they just told him he could get a dog. They said, okay. Okay, so our next sentence says, "Next, I felt blank." Well, don't think he was sad anymore. He was happy. He was glad. He was excited. So any of those words would work here. I'm going to put down happy. So I'm writing the word happy. So I have, next, I felt happy. So go on and pause and write the word happy, and then we'll finish that sentence. Okay, well now we need to finish our sentence. Next, I felt happy because, why? Why did he feel happy? Why did Henry feel happy? Can you write down why Henry felt happy? So you'd write it right after the word because. It says, next I felt happy because, and then you're going to tell me why he felt happy. You tell me why Henry felt happy. You can pause it so you can write your finish your sentence. Okay, so now I'm going to read the next couple of pages. Okay? Actually, it's telling me to read page 22. So I'm going to start on page 22, and we're going to listen to this part of the story. And when we finish, we're going to finish the writing at the bottom of the page. So here's this part of the story. Then he found Mudge. Mudge had floppy ears, not pointed, and Mudge had straight fur, not curly, but Mudge was short. "Because he's a puppy," Henry said. "He'll grow." And did he ever? He grew out of his puppy cage. He grew out of his dog cage. He grew out of 7 collars in a row. And when he finally stopped growing, this is what he looked like when he finally stopped growing. He weighed 180 pounds. He stood 3 feet tall, and he drooled. "I'm glad you're not short," Henry said, and Mudge licked him, then sat on him. And that is the end of our story. So let's look at our last writing, the last journal that we need to do. And this one says, how did I feel after Mudge grew up? How did I feel after Mudge grew up? So here's what it says. It starts out, last I felt blank. How did I feel after he grew up? I felt glad. I felt excited. I felt happy. I felt wonderful. Any one of those words would work because that's how Henry felt. So you could go on and pause, and then if you could write a word about right here in the blank, up right in this blank right here. How did he feel? Write it right here. How did he feel after Mudge grew up? Go on and pause. Okay, now we need to say why. Why did he feel that way? So I wrote down the word wonderful. Last I felt wonderful because, why did he feel wonderful? What made him feel glad, happy, excited, wonderful at the end of the story? Go on and pause and finish out that sentence. All right. So that is the end of our reading lesson for today. Okay. Next, you have some things that you're going to be doing in your folder. Okay. Keep coming back and you will be able to have the next lesson for the day in just a little bit. Talk to you later.